Futures and options on futures trading involve substantial risk and is not a suitable investment for all types of investors. Past results are not necessarily indicative of future results. When I use the word I in this video, it refers to what I teach in my charting course or what I author in my twice daily oral and written updates. Prices shown on charts and quote boards are in real time and take into account all known activity up to this point in time. And if you'd like to read more of this disclaimer, simply hit the pause key on your video player.
Good evening, all. Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your financial market wrap-up for this Monday evening, October 1st, 2018. Now, we're just about 5:30 p.m. Because of that, the markets you see behind me in most cases already open. Not all, but most. And so we're open in the financial markets, and you're down a little bit in the three stock indices, up a tad in the Russell. We got today the president to tell us all about the New Deal. Now, the way I remember the deal is I think of the United States Marine Corps, because it's United States, Mexico for the M, C for Canada, USMC, got it? Agreement. And it's, you got to get into your head because the president's not going to call it NAFTA anymore. And because everybody's in agreement doesn't yet mean it's a deal. It's still got to be signed off on at the end of November by Mexico. Our Congress has to approve it. We'll see what they do. But why would they fight it? I mean, what's the point? So I expect it to go through, and most of it kick in early 2019. I wrote about it today in my report. Just understand that the key point is it takes auto parts from this region of North America, instead of 62.5%, have to be up to 75%. Minimum wage in a portion of the car has to be $16 an hour. Yes, the resolution, Chapter 19, stays in place. Dairy will open up in Canada in some manner that I frankly don't yet understand. And those are the gists, the main parts of the deal. It's not that it's a major deal, it's a better deal according to the president, and a deal's been made. So if you say the president can't do deals, well, he's got one with Mexico, he's got one with Canada. Europe, you're in the gun sights right now. When we look at the stock market, yes, it was up. For the week, we're up 10 points already. The market liked what it saw. Still not up to a high close that we had at 29.34. As you can see, the market is just chopping around right in this whole area at this point. We've got a pattern of a higher high and a lower low. I don't see a trend just yet. Support's back at the 18-day average of closes. Now, let me be clear. Obviously, I'm not blind. I know that we've had a trend, but a trend being the swing line putting out a pattern of higher highs, higher lows, or lower highs, lower lows. You're not getting that. What you also have is a market that went up again, if you look at this rally, and let's go back to Monday's trade. You got up to 29.42. The upper Bollinger Band's 29.44.5. Found the resistance there, backing off a little tonight. Got more or less some sideways action that has suddenly developed. In terms of momentum, the market has worked off an over what? Bought condition, and then tonight, with the reopening of the market, this was how you finished off today, Monday. With the reopening of trade tonight for Tuesday, the market's back to overbought. Pay attention to that. In the NASDAQ, the resistance is the upper Bollinger Band. You're there in a resistance area also of slow stochastics being overbought. So the market, what will it do here is going to be the next big question. By the way, that is the NASDAQ. It looks to me like these charts, well, they're in order. They're fine. In the Russell, this is still the problem area, and you can see how the market keeps falling. So if I come back to these other charts, the one thing you see very clear is they're all over the 18-day average of closes. When you come over and you get into the Russell, it's not. This has been the bear target. You're down to support between the 100-day average, the lower Bollinger Band, and you're oversold. The VIX went up on Friday, challenged the resistance on the daily chart of the 18-day and the 100-day average, and got thrown back. We had talked about that possibly happening on Wednesday and Thursday, I believe. In the T-bond market, I now don't know what this trend is. You've got a lower low, a higher high, a market that's oversold, the bias down. It's a son of a gun right here. As you come into the 10-year note, you got the same type of pattern. Don't see anything there with an oversold condition. TLT today fell enough where it took out the 116.40 zone and gives itself a higher high, lower low. Does the market follow through and put out more higher interest rates at this point? In other words, higher ones? I don't know. In the dollar index, the pattern is still bullish. You have the higher lows, higher highs. It's been a long time since we're able to get up to the upper Bollinger Band. It is a target. We'll see if it gets there. If it wants to not get there, then I look for support to be seen at 94.28, the 18-day average, to 94.04, the 100-day. And it's the flip-flop in the euro. It's very oversold. Even if the market breaks down here, I question and wonder where the short covering starts coming. So I think we're getting very close to that. You've got the lower highs, lower lows still in a downtrend. British pound is in a downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows. Resistance back at 131.44. You wouldn't want to get up and over this high right through here if you're going to keep the bear pattern alive at 132.66. In looking at the yen, just riding the lower Bollinger Band with an embedded slow stochastic. When the slow stochastic oscillator goes sideways under 20, which you've been doing, it's often a very bearish sign, and especially when it just lays down on that Bollinger Band. No way to tell how low it's going, but the bears have control of the market. Bitcoin coming back down and narrowing in these Bollinger Bands. So sideways action. The market is right now slipping down a little, getting out of an overbought condition in an uptrend. Higher lows, higher highs. Still staying up at this point. In the Brent versus WTI oil, as you can see, the market had a big spike up, backing off tonight a little bit. Here's the Brent. You've now had how many days where you're over the upper Bollinger Band? Right now, as of this moment, with the market open on Tuesday, that's 1, 2, 3 days in a row. 5's typically the most you go, so I think you're in an area where you might want to work back under that Bollinger Band. And I'm going to say the same on the November WTI. And yes, you still trade the November here, but the December Brent because of where the volume is. But you don't have 3 days in a row. You got 1. So this market's got the embedded reading on good-sized breaks. It still looks to me as though it's going to be very well supported. Gasoline staying up, gets over the upper Bollinger Band, and each time manages to just pull back under it. Again, embedded reading. A lot of this is pricing in the Iranian situation, which kicks in on the full ban by the U.S. within our banking system, the sanctions, on November 4th. Nat gas getting funny weather. You got hot weather in parts of the east and west coast, and now cooler weather's coming through the center. It's got sort of the best of all worlds right now, and very important, you had a bullish crossover today where the 18-day average got over the 100. We'll see if that supports the market for any higher prices. Want to remind you, we write about all these markets for commodity traders. We're a commodity boutique firm. I've been doing this decades, and we have our own research writers that write for you, be it in options trade, futures markets, derivative types. You're a commercial user, a farmer, a speculator. If you'd like to get information on what it is, the research, and you can sign up for the different types you want if you go to our website at www.iraepstein.com. You can also call my staff right there. You can click right here. It'll take you to that page. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day.